Hey guys, and welcome to the Hitchhiker's Guide to Star Trek Online. I'm Jasko from Sanctuary of Wanderhome, bringing you The Infected. The Infected is made up of a space and a ground mission. In space, you'll encounter the common Borg vessels, probes, spheres, and cubes, oh my. When fighting a group of Borg, you'll always want to target and kill the probes first, then the spheres, and the cubes last. Now the Borg cubes have three main abilities: a tractor beam ability, drain shields, and a heavy plasma torpedo. It's advised that you keep your distance to be able to shoot down the torpedoes and avoid the tractor beam. Reverse shield polarity also helps with tractor beams in this case. If your group is having trouble, you can always drag an enemy away from the rest of the Borg. That way, there's only one in range to attack you, and you can focus fire on it. After finishing off the first group of Borg, it's off to kill the transwarp conduit. The conduit will spit out probes first, then spheres at around 75% health, cubes at about 45%, and one tactical cube at about 25 to 30%. The transwarp conduit will only be attackable for a few seconds whenever a new wave of Borg come in, so you'll need to make sure you're in range of the conduit when the last Borg vessel in that particular group dies. It's suggested to use an AoE ability on the probes and spheres as soon as they come out, such as Tychon's Rift or Scramble Sensors, as they'll all be grouped up. You'll want to try and position your group on the opposite side of the conduit, and let each individual group of Borg come to you. When it comes time to finally attack the tactical cube, remember, it has almost the same exact abilities as a regular Borg cube, it just hits harder and moves faster. The transwarp conduit itself has three nodes surrounding it which are also shielded. After each wave of Borg is defeated, one of these shields will drop, and your team can choose whether or not to destroy the node. If you leave all three nodes up and just focus on shooting down the transwarp conduit, you'll receive an epic item at the end of the quest. If you do destroy the node, then the amount of Borg in the next wave will be reduced, but you will not receive the epic item at the end of the mission. Once the transwarp conduit and all the surrounding Borg are destroyed, it's time to beam down to the station and begin the ground portion of Infected. During the ground portion, you'll face a lot of trash mobs. Fortunately, each one of these mobs is very similar. There will be a distributor node connected to a group of Borg, and these Borg won't die unless the node is destroyed first. Your common household Borg are Elite Tactical, which teleport in extra Borg, Infected Borg, and medical drones. Each room usually has two groups and one patrol, or three groups connected to nodes. Note that patrol groups are not connected to nodes. If you can't find the node, you can mouse over the enemy icons on your minimap to see where the node is in the room. Attacking a node will pull only the group that the node is connected to, so it's suggested to snipe out that node and then back up and let the group come to you. Avoid AoEing the node or you risk pulling the patrol or possibly even the second group in the room. After clearing out the first couple of trash mobs, we come to Captain Ogan, the first and a very simple boss. After clearing out his room, it's a pew-pew laser battle with the captain until about 80% health, after which he'll summon in another two groups and patiently wait at his spawn. While Ogan begins speaking to summon the new Borg, the team can move back into the hallway to easily take out the first group and its distributor node. The second group's node upon exploding will hit Ogan, so be prepared to take his group down with the captain in it. After Ogan is dead, to open the door it requires three people to activate the consoles simultaneously. Keep note of this mechanic because it will be used again in the final boss fight. After clearing out a few more trash mobs, we come to the final boss of this instance, Rebecca Simmons. You'll want to choose three jumpers or taggers to trigger the shield deactivation before heading in. The other two group members will be responsible for killing Borg and keeping Borg off of the jumpers. If the two members killing are confident in their Mario jumping ability, they can move with the other jumpers or stay in the middle to snipe all the Borg out. Be aware that the door will close to the room, so everyone must enter at the same time, and the floor is made of death. Therefore, if you die, make sure someone revives you, and if you revive in the plasma, jump to a pipe or the nearest ramp. Do not respawn, as you'll end up outside the room and your group is going to have to reset to let you back in. Be aware that the Borg on the platforms can be knocked into the plasma also for an instant death, so it's suggested you use pushback attacks or melee weapons to do that. Your jumpers will need to make it across the boxes into each corner of the room, activating the three consoles at the same time as we did before. Any damage to the jumpers will stop the activation sequence, so you need to keep the Borg off of them. Once the shield generator goes down, one member of the jump team will have to upload the virus. Then the jump team moves together to the next platform and repeats the process until all 4 generators are down. Once the shield goes down, you have a limited amount of time before it comes back up, so work quickly. Once all 4 shield generators are down, the entire team must destroy the generator in the center of the room. This will cause the boss, Rebecca Simmons, to come out. Plasma will also begin venting in all 4 corners of the room and at the front door. Rebecca Simmons can place a debuff on a target, doing damage to them and anyone near them, chaining off to others as well. This counts towards engineering devices also. She also hits very hard, so it's recommended to have a cover shield up at all times and hide behind it whenever she targets you. Be aware that the Borg on the platforms will never stop spawning in during this fight and should be taken care of if she's not low on health. Or you can simply nuke the boss. It's also wise to have a force field dome trap her in, making it easier to line of sight her. This is a very simple fight if you let it be. Well, this has been Jasko bringing you Sanctuary of Wanderhome Strategy Guide to Infected. Don't forget to subscribe or check our forums for more videos like this one to come.